Have you ever felt like you aren't the one driving the car of your own life? Like there is an invisible hand guiding your decisions, your emotions, and your reactions. You think you chose to apologize. You think you chose to feel guilty. But what if I told you that those thoughts were planted there? We like to believe we are smart. We like to believe we are in control. But the terrifying truth is that dark psychology is everywhere. It's not just used by cult leaders or spies. It is used by your boss, your partner, your best friend, and sometimes even your own family. There are people out there who function as puppet masters. They pull strings you can't see. They whisper words that bypass your logic and hit your insecurities directly. And by the time you realize what's happening, you are already dancing to their tune. In this video, we are going to expose the top 5 most dangerous psychological tricks used to control human behavior. These are the techniques that fly under the radar. They are subtle, they are deniable, and they are extremely effective. Today, we are going to cut those strings. If you watch this video until the end, you won't just learn how to spot these manipulators, you will learn how to disarm them. Because once you see the strings, the puppet master loses his power. Let's enter the dark side of human nature. Let's start with the most famous and the most destructive technique in the book, gaslighting. But I'm not talking about the watered-down definition you see on TikTok. I'm talking about the real psychological weapon designed to break your sanity. Imagine this. You see something with your own eyes. You hear something with your own ears. You know it happened. But when you confront the person, they look you dead in the eye and say, "That never happened. You're imagining things. Are you feeling okay?" At first, you get angry. You know the truth. But then, they double down. They say it with so much conviction, so much concern, that a tiny crack appears in your mind. You start to think, wait, am I remembering it wrong? Maybe I am just stressed. This is the goal of gas. It isn't about winning an argument. It is about eroding your trust in your own reality. Scenario ante, workplace. Let's look at a real-world scenario. Your boss tells you on Monday, make sure this file is in the blue folder. You put it in the blue folder. On Friday, he screams at you, "I told you the red folder. Why do you never listen?" Your memory's getting worse every day. Now, pay attention. The issue isn't the folder. The issue is the comment. Your memory's getting worse. He is planting a seed of doubt. If he does this enough times, you will eventually believe you are incompetent. And when you believe you are broken, who do you rely on? Him. You become dependent on the very person who is breaking you. Oh, to split it if you constantly feel the need to record conversations just to prove you aren't crazy. You are being gaslit. If you hear phrases like, "You're too sensitive," "You can't take a joke," "You're making a big deal out of nothing," these are red flags. The defense. Stop arguing about reality. You cannot win an argument with someone who lies about the facts. Instead, become a gray rock. Simply say, "I remember it differently," and walk away. Do not engage. Do not try to convince them. Trust your gut. Trick number 2 is the most addictive. That's why it's the most dangerous. It's called love bombing. In the beginning, the manipulator is perfect. Too perfect. They text you 24/7. They buy you gifts. They tell you that you are their soulmate after knowing you for 2 weeks. Your brain is flooded with dopamine. You feel, "Hi Ju, feel Sean." You think, "Finally, I met someone who gets me." But this is who's the free sample. Just like a drug dealer gives you the first hit for free to get you hooked, the manipulator gives you validation to get you attached. And once they know they have you, the switch flips. The shift suddenly. The texts stop. The compliments turn into subtle insults. "You used to be so fun. Why are you so boring now? Why can't you dress more like her?" You are left confused and devastated. You wonder, what did I do wrong? How do I get that perfect person back? And here's the trap. You start working harder to please them. You apologize for things you didn't do. You change your behavior. You walk on eggshells. You are chasing the high of the beginning, but they will never give it to you again. Again, except in tiny doses to keep you from leaving. How to spot it? Real love is a slow burn. It grows over time. If a relationship feels like a high-speed Ferrari crash, it's not passion. It's manipulation. Be wary of instant intimacy. If someone shares their deepest secrets within an hour of meeting you, they are trying to force a bond, not build one. Why do some people always talk about their exes? Why does your friend constantly mention how successful and cool their other friend is while talking to you? They aren't just making conversation. They're using trick number 3, triangulation. Humans are biologically wired to fear competition. We are terrified of being replaced. Manipulators know this. To control you, they introduce a third person into the dynamic to lower your status and increase theirs. Scenario D, toxic friend, partner, they might say. You know, Sarah never complains when I cancel plans. She's so chill. Or, my ex-boyfriend used to love this restaurant. He had such great taste. What happens to you? You feel insecure. You feel the need to compete with this invisible rival. You start trying to be more chill like Sarah. You start trying to prove you have good taste, like the ex. You are so busy fighting for the manipulator's approval that you forget to ask the most important question. Why is this person making me feel like I am in a contest? The defense: refuse to play the game. When they bring up a third person to compare you, do not react. Do not get jealous. Do not try. Do better. Simply say, it sounds like you really like them. Maybe you should hang out with them instead. Call their bluff. The moment you stop competing, their power evaporates. This technique is so subtle that you have probably fallen for it 100 times without knowing. In psychology, it's known as the Benjamin Franklin effect, or the foot in the door technique. If a manipulator comes up to you and asks for your car keys and $1,000, you will say no. So, they don't ask for that. Instead, they ask for something tiny, something you can't say no to. Hey, can I borrow a pen? You say yes. Your brain registers. I helped this person. They must be okay. Next week. Hey, can you give me a ride to the store? It's on your way. You say yes again. It's hard to say no now, because you've already established a pattern of helping. Slowly, the requests get bigger. Can you lend me $50? Can you finish this project for me? Can you lie for me? By the time you realize you are being used, you are already in too deep. Psychologically, we humans like to be consistent. If we said yes before, we want to say yes again to align with our past actions. Manipulators exploit this desire for consistency to turn you into their servant. One small yes at a time. The test. If you suspect someone is doing this to you, test them. Say no to a small request. If they are a true friend, they won't mind. If they are a manipulator, they will react with anger, guilt trips, or the silent treatment. Watch their reaction when you set a boundary. That tells you everything you need to know. And now, we arrive at the final trick. This is the most dangerous one of all. This is the psychological mechanism that powers gambling addiction. It is called intermittent reinforcement. Think about a slot machine. If you pulled the lever, another one, you would get bored and leave. If you pulled the lever and always won, you would get bored eventually too. But if you win sometimes, unpredictably, you will pull that lever until you go bankrupt. Manipulators use this on your heart. They are never consistent. On Monday, they ignore your texts pain. On Tuesday, they shower you with love, reward. On Wednesday, they are cold again. On Thursday, they act like nothing happened. Your brain goes into overdrive. You are constantly on edge, waiting for that next hit of dopamine. You start analyzing their every move. Is he in a good mood today? Did I do something wrong? You become addicted to the good days, willing to endure weeks of bad days, just to get that feeling back. This unpredictability creates a trauma bond that is harder to break than drug addiction. The defense: consistency is the bare minimum requirement for any relationship. Love and respect should be the standard, not the prize you win for good behavior. If you find yourself analyzing someone's mixed signals, stop. Mixed signals are not a sign of complexity. They are a sign of manipulation. Walk away from the slot machine. The house always wins. Listening to these 5 tricks, you might have realized something uncomfortable. You might have seen the face of a friend, a partner, or a boss flash in your mind. It hurts to realize you babe and play it. But do not feel stupid. These tricks rely on your humanity. They rely on your empathy, your desire to help, and your need for love. But now, you have something they didn't expect you to have: awareness. Dark psychology only works in the dark. The moment you shine a light on it, the moment you say to yourself, "This is gaslighting," or "This is triangulation," their spell is broken. You are not a puppet. You are the author of your own story. Trust your gut. Protect your peace. And never apologize for seeing the truth. If this video opened your eyes, hit that subscribe button. We are going to dive even deeper into the human mind in the next video. Until then, stay safe and watch the strings.